Newsday Tuesday, and we're live. I'm your host, Go Rome, on the Rome Show podcast, news updates with my friend Len. Len, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Rome. Tuesday, Newsday. Can't be happier. I mean, it's my gosh, 63 degrees outside right now when we're recording. That's like outdoor air conditioning.
Feels great too.
I don't want the summer to end though.
No, we got some time left, a little bit more time.
Yeah, a lot of folks you're seeing kids coming back to school and people think, "Oh, the summer's over." No. If I was school age, yeah, the summer's over. I'm an adult now. I've been out of school and college for a while. And the summer doesn't end till September 21st. So we have almost a month to go. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, it's another whole month.
hmm hmm Enjoy the summer. Don't have these artificial barriers or end dates put on it. The summer's over when you decide it is.
Yeah, that's how you gotta
Yeah.
be.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So, it's almost September. Doesn't it get very busy? It starts to get busy, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I will tell you that there is that end of it. Yes, the weather's still great, but you get a lot of people who have taken long vacations who are coming back. I'll be honest, at NBC Connecticut, it's still a pretty quiet newsroom. I think, folks are getting their last vacations, and we don't have a lot of older folks with kids who work in our newsroom. Obviously, we've got probably a third either have kids or, like me, have kids and they're adults now. But, I would say two-thirds of our newsroom are younger adults. So they're still taking vacations. And, I pulled up to the NBC Connecticut parking lot yesterday and it was about half full. So I had no problem finding a space. Once we get to September, yeah, you're right. Things pick up a lot. Everybody's back from their vacations. And I got to tell you, I have espoused this outlook this year. I have one of my buddies at the station, his name's David, and he's like, take your vacations in the summer when the weather's good. When the weather stinks, which honestly, 6 months of the year in Connecticut, it's pretty rough. Don't go on vacation then, unless you're going to fly out somewhere, and then that gets wicked expensive. But I mean, take your vacation when the weather's nice, like today. So I did.
Perfect day.
Yeah. Yeah.
How many days? Just one or a couple?
This week I'm just taking a half day. We're going to a wedding on Friday. We're driving all the way out toward Buffalo. I was hoping to get the whole day off, but I have some work I can't avoid. So I'll take a half day Friday and I'll take another half day Monday because I'll be roadkill after doing 10 hours of driving in 3 days.
Yeah. How long does
Yeah.
it take to get there? 5 hours?
If you're lucky, Rome, it takes 5 hours. And so my family out in Western New York, they actually live in between Rochester and Buffalo. But you might as well be driving to Buffalo. It's far.
Yeah, that's way out there.
It is way out there, but we, have family out there that we love and we miss, and we're going to be so excited to see them. The whole family's getting together for this wedding. So it's the first of all the nieces and nephews, and there's like a dozen of them. So it's on my wife's side of the family. So it's going to be a blast. I've just got to, drink a little bit of Red Bull so I can make sure I'm nice and awake after a half day of work and driving minimum 5 hours. So maybe I'll get some help. I don't know.
So on the drive, you drink Red Bull, or you're gonna have a couple cups of coffee.
I used to be a coffee guy, but the problem is then you got to pee all the time. Sorry to be so graphic for your listeners and viewers, but Red Bull, it's smaller and it goes longer. The other trick I have is I'll do chocolate covered espresso beans. You
Oh,
get,
those are good.
oh yeah, keep them cold because they melt. But if you keep them cold and you eat them while you're driving, phew, you're cooking. But after a while, that taste gets a little old. Red Bull, you
Yeah,
knock it back, you're done, you're good. For a while.
and those work too.
Yeah, I'll tell you the other trick is Diet Mountain Dew, which it just tastes nasty, but quite effective. But there you're getting the peeing again. So again, sorry about that, but you just got to go. And then you're
Yeah,
getting off the highway, you're losing all your time. So Yeah, got that ahead of me. First, I gotta do this work week and lots of news. So, but we got some good pieces. We're working on something we've been working on for several months, and it's probably going to take another 2, 3 weeks, I would guess. And it's sort of a back to school kind of story. Speaking of back to school, but I can't say much more than that. Top secret NBC Connecticut investigates stuff.
Yeah. Well, have a safe drive, safe trip. You know, we got a lot of news, some fun stuff, so much going on.
Yeah, yeah. There's no shortage of it. And certainly on my ride to Western New York, if I want to listen to news, I'll have no problem filling up that time because there's quite a bit of news.
Oh yeah, always,
Mm.
every day, all day, something goes
hmm
on.
I got to say, right now, the last 2, 3 years, there's been more news than ever. It's, as we say in the business, drinking out of a fire hose right now. But that's okay. That's okay. People want to hear what we have to report. So, job
Yeah,
security.
right. It's essential.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'll start off with the fun stuff.
Let's do that first for sure.
So Joey Garlic's has sweet Asian boneless wings with sweet
Hmm.
potato fries, blue
That's
cheese for the wings. So good.
uh,
That's my dish of the week.
that's your. I don't know if I can compete with that. I am gonna call an audible though. No, you know what? I'm not. I'm not gonna call the audible. I'll save that for next week because that one's not gonna change. So, I'm a gardener and I'm friends with gardeners, and so there's a lot of vegetables going back and forth. So I've been giving out a lot of zucchini. And one of my friends, Kevin, has tons of tomatoes and tons of string beans. And then the family from Western New York I was telling you about, they were here for that golf tournament that I've talked about on the program. Actually, the golf tournament went well. It was for a children's theater in Manchester, 82 golfers. Thank you for everybody who came by, and we'll get more of you next year, hopefully. But they came down from Western New York with string beans. So now I've got Kevin's string beans and I got my brother-in-law Walter's string beans. I got a lot of string beans. You can dip them, but we'll never finish them. So I got to come up with a string bean casserole recipe. I think we need butter. I think we need breadcrumbs. It's got to be nasty. It's got to be troublemaking because at least I'm eating vegetables, right? So it's not nasty, but naughty is the
Yeah,
proper adjective there. Um, but I would say string beans. It's the season, Rome.
those are good too. I love string beans with rice.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
Exactly. Yeah, like that or a casserole. I'm ready to rock. Maybe some cheese on top.
Yeah. Nowadays you can make so many things with food nowadays. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. 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 So I might be talking about that on a future episode.
Nice. So what I've been watching is that first it was the movie. I just realized that Reacher. Then they came out with a series. So I'm still stuck on the series. I'm almost done. It's on Prime.
And now that's about again, tell me, because you talked
The
about
guy,
it, but
yeah, he was a vet and he was in the military. Then he moved to a small town and became like the town's hero.
that's a cool story. All right, might have to give that a look. Mrs. B and I have been looking for stuff. We just finished a show. Our TV show is a continuation. I'm gonna have a twofer here. And it's Wrexham, which is about the soccer team in Wales, which is part of the United Kingdom, that two American actors bought it and they went way up. I'm not going to give away what happened, but we watched the final episode of the latest season and it was great. But we're in the market for another show. Maybe it's Reacher. In the interim, maybe it's U.S. Open tennis. We got that coming up, Rome. You get toward late August, early September. It's one of the premier tennis tournaments in the world. We get to watch a good bit of it, and frankly, you can even go if you want, but it's super expensive. So I remember I went in the 90s. I took my cousins there when I was a younger adult, and it was like $7 for a tiny thing of orange juice. That was
Wow.
in the 90s. So gosh, it's got to be like $20 now or something crazy. But great tennis. And what was neat about the US Open, if you end up having anybody that's, you know, watching or listening here that ends up going or thinking of going, it's so cool to watch the first day or two because it's not just the games on center court. I mean, the matches. It's matches throughout the facility in Flushing, New York. And you can be on just a regular old tennis court and you're going to see like one of the best players in the world playing there. Because, at the end of the day, it's only a court. And so I've been like this close to, top 10 tennis stars in the world. So it's definitely worth going. It's a lot like the Travelers golf. You get this close to the golfers, and the same thing with tennis. So there's my sports. There's my fun stuff. I'm done with the fun stuff.
That's a big, big event for tennis. It's like a
Yeah.
Super Bowl, but for tennis.
Mm-hmm. 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 I've been there at some of the big matches, and it's been decades, honestly, but it's still what it was, um, from everything I hear. And you get some of those matches, and I'll tell you, it's the coolest thing. You're in the biggest city in the world, 18 plus million people, planes flying over, trains everywhere, noise everywhere. And you can be in center court in one of these matches, and you can literally hear a pin drop right before someone serves because, they keep it all quiet. It's crazy, like New York City. So that's just a cool moment beyond the sports that you get to experience if you go. So I hope your listeners and viewers get to check that out or have checked that out.
Yeah, I always wanted to go to one. I gotta see what I could do.
You can keep it cheap. I mean, you take mass transit down, it's a bit of a pain, or drive, just go early and you can get cheaper parking. I would recommend mass transit and just make a day of it. And then just pack your food. I think you're allowed to bring stuff in. So just don't buy the stuff there. And then you're only doing the ticket. Maybe you can go to SeatGeek or something like that and get cheaper tickets. But it's doable. It's doable. And again, I'd highly recommend round one or two. Don't wait till, it's all the big matches. Unless you like that high drama.
How much is a cheeseburger and fries there?
I don't even know. I don't want to know. I would say probably 25 bucks. So just pack a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and a bag of chips and suck it up. That's what I would do. I don't know. I work hard for my money. I'm not giving it away to pay that kind of price. I'm just not doing it.
I forgot where I was one time. I was at a concert and I bought like a can of Pepsi, and it was $15.
You know what, Rome? Let's do this. I don't know where my specs are. I already lost them, but oh well. Let's see if I can look this up real quick because I think that's really amusing. Let's see. Let's see. How much is a burger at the U.S. Open tennis tournament?
I say
It's the
about 30,
beauty.
40.
All right, the beauty of Google. A standard cheeseburger costs around 15 to 16 with premium specialty burgers from 20 to 30.
Not bad, not
I don't know. I'm not paying that.
bad.
No way. No way.
It's a little up there, but
Yeah, that's no, I'm not doing that. But like I said, I'll suck it up. I'm always trying to cut carbs. So for me, a sandwich is so exciting because I rarely have them. So two slices of bread is a big deal for me. So you want to put peanut butter and jelly in there, whatever you want. I'm good. Just to have a sandwich is a holiday for me. So,
yeah, can't go wrong with a sandwich, anyways. Nice sandwich,
oh, no, fill you up, two slices of bread and PB&J, that's not even costing you 50 cents.
right?
Yeah.
So I gotta see if I can go.
You should do it, Rome. I'm telling you, you can do it cheap. You can. You can, I promise. I'm gonna
I'll
have to
make it
try on
happen.
some glasses here. I lost my glasses. I need something so I can read. Oh, that's not gonna work. I'll just hold the computer close. I left the glasses in the other room.
All right, so Next is sports. A lot of sports going on.
Oh man, yeah, lots of sports.
Oh yeah.
Well, I
So
did
for me,
mine.
I
It's
got
your yeah.
yeah, you did yours. So mine's is Kyle Kirkwood. He won the Freedom 250 in Washington D.C. You see that?
No, is that's I didn't even know they had this is auto racing, right?
Yeah,
I didn't even know they had a race in Washington, D.C.
yeah. This was this past weekend. And another one I have is big headline. Jeff Gordon swept both IROC races in Washington. It was like a lot of races in Washington this past weekend.
I didn't even know Jeff Gordon was still racing.
Yeah,
Wow. Wow. Long before I was at NBC Connecticut, I worked down south for 11 years. And yes, NASCAR is king down there. And I knew all the names. And of course, Jeff Gordon, I think he was number 24, if I recall. Because that's the thing, all the drivers, it's their numbers. That's sort of their identity. Um, but yeah, auto racing, I think they're winding it down. What was neat with auto racing, living in the South, was that you knew the sign of spring was when Daytona came. And Daytona's, that race is usually, I think, late January, early February, somewhere in there. And, down south, I mean, one year, I lived down there 11 years, and I would say when I was in Raleigh, which was further south. I was in Southwest Virginia also. And one winter in Raleigh, the daffodils bloomed in late January, and my grass started growing in February, late February.
oh, wow.
Yeah, crazy, crazy. For a Yankee, that was like, whoa.
Yeah,
I was
that'd
like,
have been
wait a
crazy.
minute. Yeah. It was only one year, but still, it did happen. It did happen.
Not bad. At least it didn't keep going. Just
Yeah.
1 year.
Yeah, just one year. And then, most years it's March, April. Like here, you're some years you're not really even cutting grass till May, depending how rainy and cold it is.
Yeah,
But let's not talk about the rain and cold. Look at this beautiful sunny day. Oh my gosh.
we might have a storm coming today. I think
Uh,
so.
I think the NBC Connecticut Storm Tracker weather team said that there's the chance for pop-up showers today. And we're
Yeah,
recording on Tuesday, the 25th? Yes, 25th of August. So
and last night we had like a little storm. It was pouring last night.
yeah, we're in sort of a strange pattern. We're getting a good bit of rain right now. I have not watered our garden in over a week, but we gotta sort of move out of this because I've got smaller. I try to, rotate and have plants that are going to grow, and because the growing season here in northern Connecticut is probably till early October, and with sort of the colder weather stuff like beets or radishes or lettuce, you can go way into the fall. But I'm talking like tomatoes and stuff. Mrs. B and I have some that are like this big that, they'll yield some tomatoes before, the real cold weather kicks in. So I need some dry days because they've germinated and they're about this tall. Now I need some sun to get them up to here. And they're already flowering, you know. So let's get some sun. I think the forecast this week is it dries out, if I recall. But
Yeah.
don't hold me to that. I'm not a meteorologist. I'm an investigative reporter.
Those grow fast too.
They can. This particular species does. If I think we've talked about this before on the Rome podcast, the Aero Garden, which is a self-contained um, hydroponic growing system. Hydroponics mean they grow in water, and it's only about yo tall. And you put water in it. You feed it once every 2 weeks, and you could go on vacation. You could leave it, and it's fine, and it keeps growing. The lights go on their own. You do have to fill it with water every once in a while, but only like once a week. So um, you can grow veggies all season. And we're going to try to do that this year because, we've reported on the news all about these lettuce outbreaks with, the different contaminants and things that are in them that are getting people sick. It's only a matter of time before we hear it about other stuff, and we have. So, uh, why not grow it yourself?
Yeah, why not?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's healthy too.
Yeah. Yeah. Growing. I'm planning on growing some tomatoes this winter, some basil. That's the easy stuff. And then we're going to see what else we can, you gotta make an assessment what you can grow inside that you're going to be able to do it with the highest yield possible. And so the tomatoes, like they're literally a strain that was designed for the aero garden. So they germinate within 4 days, they flower within 10. And the fruit is small and sometimes can even be micro, but people love those micro greens and all this other micro vegetables and stuff. So yeah, bring it on.
Yeah, throw some
Yeah,
salad dressing on there.
you're good to
Good to
go.
go.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I got some global news, but before that, those flies, those lantern flies, I think they're called, the
Mm-hmm.
red. I see them everywhere.
Yeah, and it's
Have you seen
tough.
them?
Yeah, it's tough. I was on a story last Tuesday and we were interviewing a guy outside, and all of a sudden they started landing on me. I was in Hamden, and I'll have
Oh
a
wow.
story on Hamden tonight on the news in all likelihood, unless there's breaking news. That it's that story. But we were doing the story last week, and you're supposed to kill them, but if they're on me and I squish them, I'm gonna stain all my clothes. But certainly, they hit the ground and you kill. I don't know that it's really going to help. Hopefully, it's just a 1 year infestation, but we'll see.
Yeah, hopefully, because there's a lot of them.
There are. There are. And they're not good. They eat stuff that we don't want them eating.
Right. So for my global news, I don't know if you've seen this, but this is an international story getting attention. Europe's new passport system. They made some changes with their passport system, so some travelers are experiencing frustrating situations.
Yeah, I did hear about that because Mrs. B and one of our daughters went to Italy earlier in the summer, and we did hear about that, but they had no problems. They said it could not have been easier, which I was stunned, but okay.
That's good. They didn't have
Yeah.
no problems.
Yeah.
And one more is this was a headline. The Washington Post reports that some of the long-term Tesla supporters are beginning to question Elon Musk's um, direction of the company. So they're doubting him now.
Yeah, I've heard a little bit about this both on the investor side and on the consumer customer side. And all I can tell is I still see a lot of these Teslas out there. I know a lot of folks that own them, but some of the opinions that he has expressed and some of the things he has done, uh, speaking strictly as a neutral observer, I can see how that could still be offensive to some people and they could reconsider their purchasing decisions. So I get it. I get it. I got a few global heads too. Um, some of the global headlines I've got from the Associated Press here is Canada is going to announce retaliatory tariffs against the United States after relations deteriorated earlier this week. President Donald Trump telling Canadian leaders to fall in line or face consequences far worse than existing tariffs. So this is heating up a little bit, and I don't think anybody wants to see that. Other thing
No.
heating up is what's going on in Iran, of course. We are at war with them. The new head of Iran's top security body warned early this week that Tehran will see any country's support for new U.S. economic measures against the Islamic Republic as an act of war. So we're seeing a lot of huffing and puffing going on there with that whole conflict. And let's hope they can ease things up and get us back on a more peaceful plane. As far as local
Definitely.
news, yeah, local news from NBC Connecticut, tons there. One of the biggest things, we've already talked about it, Rome. Across the state, thousands of students are waking up bright and early for their first day of school. I will tell you, in this household, Mrs. B works in a school system. She had her First day yesterday, where they sort of get the teachers ready, all that kind of stuff. They got today off. And then tomorrow, the kids go to school. But in Waterbury, today is the first day of school. And so, when we talk about that, the one thing is it's not just about the kids and the parents and the families and the teachers. It's also about you. Because the thing is, you see a lot more kids on the streets. They're hanging out at bus stops, waiting to get picked up. You have a lot more school buses out there. So, number one, budget a little extra time because, yes, you're going to get caught behind a school bus and you're going to get delayed in all likelihood. Don't make it like it's some outlier that it happened. Budget an extra 5 minutes in your travel. And the other thing is, yes, be more alert for kids, parents walking across crosswalks. They have that pedestrian right away. Um, this is a sensitive topic for me because NBC Connecticut Investigates did the Reckless on a Road series for years. Still do it. We still have occasional stories on it. Please be safe. First day of school.
Yes,
Can't emphasize that enough, Rome.
super important.
hmm hmm One other phenomenon that NBC Connecticut has been reporting about are these e-bikes. Do you have one, Rome? I don't.
I don't, but I plan on getting one.
Really? You're in the market for an e-bike?
I'm a cruiser though. I don't like. I be seeing people like speeding past cars, cutting through cars. I'm not one of those. I'm a cruiser.
Okay, good, good.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, local leaders, doctors, and state police are urging families to really focus on safety with kids with these things, especially as the school year starts. This is really one of the first years where you're seeing this widespread adoption of these e-bikes by kids. And so I think that local leaders are concerned that you could see some uptick in accidents involving these. Let's hope not. But it is a concern. It is a concern. Connecticut Children's Medical Center in Hartford saw 109 pediatric visits related to e-bikes last year. And they've already exceeded that number this year. So we're two-thirds of the way into the year, and they've already hit 109. So that's a 33% increase, a third. It's up a third from last year. So keep your eyes out for those kids on the road. And then we've got an NBC Connecticut Investigates story from last week. You've probably heard of DCF, the Connecticut Department of Children and Families. It reports it has recovered most of $1 million in overpayments it sent to 41 clients this year. They say that this
Wow.
was an error. I know. So they've recovered about 900,000 of the million plus that they sent in a second batch of payments. The one thing is that the agency says this was a team from another agency that is embedded in the DCF that made this error. It wasn't the DCF itself. So they don't want to totally take the hit on this one. But it was a unit of another agency embedded or assigned to DCF. Interesting story on the DCF last week. We have a story this week I was sort of dropping you some hints about. It's going to be airing in the next day or so. About 18 months ago, we visited a factory in Hamden that said these electricity prices were killing them. I'll give you the headline. They've closed the business. 100 plus jobs gone.
Just like
It's
that.
hard. Yeah, heartbreaking. Manufacturing jobs in Connecticut. And wait till we tell you why. That's our story tonight or tomorrow. This week, we're going to have that story on NBC Connecticut with the NBC Connecticut Investigates team. That story is literally being edited. Let me see, 8:35. The photographer got in at 8. He's editing that story right now. So we will have that on this week on NBC Connecticut. And make sure you check out all the NBC Connecticut Investigates stories on our website. You can see all of them there. Just hit the tab for NBC Connecticut Investigates. There's my plug. I'm done. Not going to talk about golf tournaments this week. And that's all my news, Rome.
Good one. A lot's going on.
Yeah. Cool, man. Drinking out of a fire hose, but right now I'll just drink out of this cup.
Right. I gotta go get another coffee. You have a great day, and I appreciate it. And I'll see you next week.
Sounds great, Rome. You be well, my friend.
All right. You too, Len. Don't work too hard.
I will.
if you can. I know that's kind of hard, but
Yeah, I know you will too, though. So it's not just me.
yeah, I'll try.
You try and I'll try both. We'll check in next week. We'll see.
All right, see you next week.
All right, take care, Rome.
Take it.